What's up and welcome to Nacho's Cafe. This is your boy Will, aka Nacho, and today is Talk About It Tuesday, where me and a guest will sit and talk about it, whatever it is, and that's what we'll be talking about. You ready? Once again, we don't have tacos, but that's okay.
I had tacos last night.
Ooh, what kind?
They're more fajitas, sorry.
Oh, I like fajitas.
Yeah, carne asada.
Were they sizzling?
They were hot off the grill.
You guys have a grill that you can actually use?
Absolutely.
See, this quarantine thing has been really miserable because I live right by the pool, and I can look at it.
Oh yeah,
I can't even get. I can't even get in the pool, so that's torture by itself. And there's a grill, a big grill that I can literally walk out and cook. I mean, I know my neighbor downstairs probably is really mad because I saw him always grilling all the time.
Yeah.
But I love barbecue food.
Yeah.
It's nothing like the smoke touching that meat.
And we're coming up on a really good time to buy them too, right around Memorial Day before 4th of July.
That's right.
Sales.
I forgot about that.
So if you can pick one up and store it somewhere.
And it will be my birthday as well. My birthday month.
Yeah. I just had a birthday month. I mean, I'm in my birthday month.
Wait, you're a Taurus.
May. Mm-hmm. Sure am.
When is it? It's
Dirty
coming up
30.
close.
No, it happened already. Last week. Dirty 30 in
Well,
quarantine.
happy belated birthday, my friend.
Thank
Because
you.
I should have wished that like a long time ago. I'm cutting that out because I look like a bad friend.
No. This is a good segue into what we wanted to talk about. This is the reality of the situation that we're in right now.
Yes.
It's quarantine.
Yeah.
And I got to celebrate Dirty 30 in quarantine.
How did you celebrate that, by the way? Did you guys cook anything? What did you guys do at least? Because what was your plans first?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to go to Vegas because 30, and we're close enough here that it can either be a pretty cheap flight or a relatively quick drive if you want to partake in that. That's a whole other conversation. Drives to and from Vegas. But that was a plan, just to get whoever wanted to go or could go over to. Yeah, absolutely. Just to experience that. And that didn't happen, obviously. It's shut down. I went on a little walk/hike over by Sunset Cliffs in the morning.
Oh, nice.
My boyfriend had to work, so he didn't come with us. But when I came back to the house after a couple hours, he had pulled up a couple of friends on Zoom, and he was like standing there holding some brownies. And they all sang to me virtually. He was there, obviously. He had to run and go to work, so I hung out with a couple people on Zoom. Mm-hmm. And then we jumped over to House Party. Mm-hmm. If you've heard of the app House Party. The app.
I feel like I have seen where it's a bunch of people all in the faces.
Yeah.
I've seen birthdays done on it too, to be honest.
Yep. So it can get a little overwhelming if you've got like more than 3 or 4 people, but still fun. It's free. They have their own options to play some games and stuff virtually.
Really, games?
Yeah.
What is it called?
House Party.
All right, that's right.
So check it out. It's a great way to connect to people, just even for 30 minutes, an hour, to play some games, to talk, see people face to face. So I did that for a little bit, and then called my mom, my little sister, ordered some Thai food for dinner, and that was pretty much it. Did laundry.
Nice.
Felt real mature. Felt real 30. Yeah, it was good. I mean, you make the best of the situation that you're in.
You have to.
It's not necessarily probably what anyone expects to be doing. But we're all in the same boat.
We all are.
So I think as long as you're surrounded and talking to the people that mean a lot to you, you're able to celebrate still. And I think once this is all over, there'll be a post-quarantine birthday celebration anyway. So.
I think we all deserve that, especially with year 2020. It's like 2020, skip it. 2021 is a 2020 redo. Yeah. We get that year back.
Absolutely. There will be a lot of belated birthday celebrations, I think, once everything's lifted. Safely, though. I mean, there's a lot of people that, they're going to do what they want to do with their bodies.
They're going to exercise their rights.
Right. But even the people, we've seen videos of people celebrating spring break. People want to celebrate, I understand that. Right. But just heed the advice of the professionals in this situation, which I am not. You are not.
I know.
So
well, this video will be released later,
yeah.
but then you guys kind of know the truth. But yeah.
Yeah. So
I was thinking today, of course, kind of like on the what we're talking about already about what's going on. I really wanted to partner with you on what do you think what's going to happen next, not in a political view, more like just as a person, like a human being, and what we've been going through. Because I mean, the whole world is, I think most of the world is going through this. But what next? You know what I mean? Like once everything opens up, how do you think people are going to treat each other, shopping? Because I know I work in the retail wholesales industry.
Yeah.
And then you've been actually been working.
I have been working. I deal with insurance, and we've been considered essential personnel.
Oh yeah.
So we've been working from home, which has been an eye-opening experience.
How has that been? Because for me, I'm easily distracted.
It's overall been pretty positive.
Okay.
Our company already had some work from home options, but not full-time work from home options, and it was a very quick transition into basically overnight. Everybody's work from home.
Yeah.
And my company did a really good job making sure that we've been supported in the IT stuff that we need, the connectivity as far as like social interaction. We've been having meetings virtually. There's a couple different services out there that we've spoke about that allow you to do the face-to-face. It's been hard in that sense of I'm a people person. I like to be next to people. I like that tangible stuff. So that's been difficult, but you make the best of it, again, with the virtual meetings. I've been thankful, which, good vibes to the people that haven't been as fortunate enough to receive the steady paycheck. I know that there's a lot of claims for unemployment. There's a lot of people that are struggling. So, shout out to you guys. Keep your heads up. I hope everything's going well and you're able to take advantage of some of the programs that are out there. Like I said, I've been fortunate enough to continue a steady paycheck, so that's been great. But it's very distracting. My boyfriend works an opposite schedule, so he's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No. Friday, Saturday, Sunday he works, and I work Monday through Friday. So he's at home playing PS4, shouting during the day.
And he's got a deep voice. When he speaks or laughs, you can feel it, and you're next door.
Yeah, there's been a few times where I have to rip out my headphones and be like, listen, I'm on the phone, you need to calm down.
Right.
But I mean, we're in a shared space and it's his time off from work, so we've come up with a way to be respectful. But yeah, you said you're distracted easily. Working from home is hard if you're easily distracted.
Yeah. Because my mind is wheels that go all over the place, so it's even hard for me to remember why I went to the refrigerator. I'll go to the refrigerator looking for popcorn, and popcorn's in the cupboard. Yeah. My mind is working endlessly all the time, so it's ooh, bird. Like that. But when I do focus, but I think I focus in the places that are closed now, like cafe shops, and those are when I really focus because I don't have no distraction. I'm literally here to focus on what I'm here to work on. Yeah. And that helps me, but I feel also how my posture is, let's say, because I was working remotely for a minute, for a good 2 to 3 weeks after the whole lockdown, and I used to work doing my office stuff at the my bar area in the kitchen, because I don't know, it's uncomfortable in a sense, and you're forced to kind of sit up straight. Yeah. And I feel I get more done that way, but it's still at home, and I'm ooh, TV, and I cannot have no TV on, because if I do, or have my phone near me, because then I'll go in there looking for something I'm working on, and I'm oh, let me look at that word, and then I start scrolling, and then my mind goes here, then Instagram, and then I'm, good God, what was I looking for? And then I've lost time.
I think it's definitely tested a lot of people and shown not only how resilient people are, but also kind of revealed some of your own shortcomings that you really need to work on. So, I mean, there's a silver lining to everything, a blessing in disguise. I think the hardest part for me is when you go out to an office or a job or a retail store, when you're done with your day, you have that time to decompress on the way home. Exactly. That woo-saw moment, that blast music, let's scream out loud in our car, whatever it may be. And when you're working from home, you don't necessarily have that. I don't have an office space in my apartment, so I've had to set up just like this, a table, a laptop. I had an extra old flat screen TV that I've hooked my laptop up to just so I have a little bit bigger of a monitor. But I'm right in my kitchen / living room area, so when my day is done, I walk 2 feet over to the couch. So you're all in the same spot, which is hard.
Because that temptation is there. It's like, I'm just gonna sit down real quick.
I find myself bouncing from the table to the couch to sitting on the bed, just making phone calls, wandering around outside on our back patio, just to give myself a little bit different of an environment throughout the day.
You got it.
And then also trying my best to take walks. We don't live right in the city. Well, I shouldn't say that. We don't live like right downtown. It's more of a neighborhood feel, so I can walk down a couple streets without having too many people or too much foot traffic. It's a couple blocks off of a main street. So, throw on a face covering and head out just to get out of the house for a little bit. But it's definitely, I think, tested a lot of people's both physical and mental health, which, I mean, when it's tested, it gives you opportunities for improvement, right? Working on patience, working on focus, working on dedication, working on setting yourself up for positivity once all of this is over and we can go back out again. Just using the time to set yourself up, invest.
I think that's really smart, especially for us who are collecting unemployment. I didn't get the stimulus for certain reasons. I'm eligible just because of the whole direct deposit and all that stuff. But for unemployment, it's nice that they actually added an additional money that they've added on top of what we're supposed to be getting. So that's a blessing in its own. It's actually helped out. But I think since we've been quarantining so much, it's good for us to also save, helping us save up, because I don't know for a lot of companies out there, but I know I only speak for mine, where my last paycheck included my vacation time. And that was, I'm not bitter, but I'm heartbroken because that was 200 and some hours. And mind you, it was nice looking at a check, but I was like, ugh, wish I could hold that and then use that, because that was, that's the years. I've been working for my company for 7 years. So that vacation time was like, yes, I can take 2 weeks off, So I don't even know how that's going to change when I go back,
And not to get into like the employment law aspect of it, because that's a whole different conversation, but was that something that they essentially like forced you to do?
So apparently it was certain states that fell under those guidelines of understanding this whole furlough thing that was going on when we got our last paycheck. California was one of them. Nevada, because I know one of my colleagues who live in Vegas over there, she held onto her top. So you didn't have, we call it top, it's a vacation time. So she didn't have to, but certain states had to, they didn't have no choice. It was like already changed, but for some you could either push it out or hold on to it or leave it in there. But I do miss doing it. Getting out, using my creative mind. I mean, I'm not like I haven't been, because I've been, doing the podcasting.
Yeah, you've been keeping yourself busy. Take the time now. I've been cooking a lot more. I've been trying new things, baking a lot more. Find a hobby,
Yeah. Have you come up with anything new? Because that's what I want to play with. I want to play with some new stuff.
So, we have a house guest. I'm going to call him a house guest that found himself in a not so positive situation right before the quarantine happened, the lockdown happened. He was in between places, and he's a really good friend of one of my roommates, and he ended up staying with us. It was originally going to be for a short period of time while he was out looking for things, and then that short period of time is kind of expanded into a longer period of time. Just because of the circumstances. It is what it is. He's a super nice guy. Anyway, where I'm going with this is he's vegan. So we cooked a lot in general beforehand, but now I've been experimenting with more vegan options just so that he's not feeling like left out when we're all cooking a bunch of stuff. So I'm a huge texture person, so I've had some rough time with some of like the meat substitutes. But as far as baking goes, they have alternatives for pretty much everything.
Yeah, because I've heard that too. Yeah.
Yeah, vegan butter. They have most recently this past week I made, and my mom's gonna be upset that I'm calling it a vegan cheesecake because she's like, that's not really she's not really a cheesecake if it's vegan. But
you're venturing out trying this.
I did.
Oh, okay. Oh, you did.
Yeah.
So.
It was really, really good. They have a cream cheese substitute, and it's not as dense as a normal cheesecake. Like a normal cheesecake's pretty thick.
Yeah.
But it's more light. I used the cream cheese substitute and then coconut cream in for the actual filling, and then I put just mixed berries, lemon, and sugar. I made like a compote and put that on top, and I made the crust out of like lemon not ginger snaps but like lemon cookies, lemon shortbread cookies, basically, that were no dairy, no.
I don't know what they're called. My friends would call me out because we love anything that bakes. So
anyway, super good. It made like a lemon shortbread crust, and then it got
devoured, I'm sure.
Yeah, and my boyfriend is very not adventurous when it comes to having something with the label vegan put on it.
Him doing like, oh, you're doing that.
Exactly. And
I can hear his voice in my head.
He's had a piece probably every night for the last 3 or 4 days, and every single time he sits down to try it, he's like amazed. So, super good.
You still have some?
There's one slice left, and it's only
there.
I'm
going to follow you, and I'm going to. I'm just stopping by to have a piece. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
so.
Because I'm down for anything with food except seafood, but anything I'm down with. Yeah. So, dang, that sounds so good. I really am craving cheese.
I made some like whiskey and honey glazed chicken and shrimp because I don't really do seafood either, but. Again, my boyfriend, our roommate, they love seafood, so I made a shrimp option and then a chicken option for me because I like chicken. So, yeah, I've been trying to stay busy, trying to focus on something other than work or being.
Because I mean, every time I talk to you, it's like you're working.
Yeah,
and that's what I feel like I've been hearing people who have been working. It's just been really, really rough.
Yeah,
like because it's like nonstop. It's like the workload is crazy. So it's like. For those of us who are not working physically or whatnot, shut up. We're all in the same boat. Maybe on opposite sides, one's working, the other one's not, but we are all going through some seriousness. Like, man, I'm sure people who are working would love to go to the beach or somewhere just to get a breather. Like, I just want to be away from home, working at home, like you are.
Yeah.
You got some people like my best friend Charlie, he's working at Walgreens, dealing with people all the time. Who knows? And you got people who are walking in these places because they're bored.
Yep.
Like, I just need to get out. Go back inside. Go back home. If you're gonna come here shopping, but don't put everybody else in danger or yourself. Just because you want to come out. It's crazy. Like, this whole thing has been outrageous, crazy. Also, on a positive light of it, I see how what we've been quarantining. It may not have been us as a human race. But we've been quarantining nature.
Yeah.
This whole, till now, we have been quarantining nature. They have not been able to come out of their comfort zone. And so, in a sense, I'm like, we deserve it. Not trying to be harsh on anything, but as humans, we tend to destroy a lot of things.
Well, I think they noticed like an improvement in the air quality, even around just the closest place, LA. They noticed an improvement in the air quality very shortly after everybody was placed on lockdown, which is amazing.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Because the air in LA is very thick. It's like because
a different beast than we have down here. In San Diego, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really, really, really good point.
Because what is it called? It's that blue stuff that's in the ocean that they see at night that comes up.
The stuff recently?
Yeah.
The bioluminescence?
There it is. Yeah. Like
Did
that.
Did you see it?
I haven't yet, and I really want to go see it.
I don't know how much longer or if it's still around. I'm not sure. I did not personally see it. We were talking about this on one of our virtual meetings. One of my coworkers, he lives on the beach, and him and his roommates went surfing in it, swimming in it. They said it was amazing. It stinks, though. I will let you know.
I think I've heard that too. It's like it smells really bad.
It is very, very smelly. So it's pretty. You can look up look it up on YouTube or just Google it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Nature's crazy, man.
And I just love the fact that it's like nature's coming out.
Yeah.
You know, and you see wild animals in places you would not normally see out. You know, but. They deserve to come out, and we shouldn't be scaring them back in. You know, I mean, we have to share this planet. We got to take care of this planet for us to live. Where else are we going to go? You know, I feel like we really got to, it's a good reboot. You know, we got to stop being so dang selfish because we have to be united. And I feel like we really got to, it's forcing us to not only reflect on ourselves, but look how we're treating the planet.
Yeah, I think some people aren't necessarily concerned with that.
That's true.
I mean, I am, right? I mean, I think a lot of people don't look long term. I didn't mean that to sound so harsh and blunt. Like, some people don't care, obviously, right? What I mean by that is I think some people can't see beyond
themselves.
Yeah, or sounds so morbid to say beyond their lifetime. But once you're done, like, that's it, right? Like, what do you care what happens next? But I mean, there's still other people that are going to be here beyond you. That kids.
Especially
there's
kids.
Still a future beyond just you. There's something bigger than just yourself. So
yeah. I will say this. Parents, if I see you walking these sidewalks and you have your face covered, and you're walking your little 2-year, 3-year-old child and their face is not masked, I will yell at you. I will. I will say, hey, is that your kid? What? Put a mask on it! I will literally scare the shit out of you. Will I care? No, because you're too damn selfish. To be like, their immune system hasn't even built strong enough. Like, you have a fighting chance. They do not. So stop being so damn selfish, or stop having kids. And I'm done.
One of my coworkers brought this up to me either yesterday or the day before. She said that she saw an article about some just opinion article saying that something along the lines of, during this work from home situation, that people without children need to pick up the slack for people with kids, or work harder to make up for, work harder than the people without kids, so that they can like focus on their kids more, or something like that. And
so
I was
basically call them out.
Yeah, just saying like that, people without kids should be working harder and like doing some of the work to, doing some of the work that the people with kids like can just need to take a break or whatever.
Oh, okay, okay, gotcha.
I'm not articulating this very well.
That's okay. Because I was trying to connect it with mine, but it's completely different.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, basically just saying that people without kids need to work harder and people with kids need to work less hard at work, because once they're done with work and clocked out of work, they still have a family that they need to take care of back home.
Yeah. And be more considerate, at least.
Yeah.
With those who have parents. I mean, parents who are parents. Yeah.
But what I found interesting, like what we were talking about, arguing about, is like the idea that they should, or that they have to. Like, I'm all for helping people out, whether you're sick, you're a parent, you have other stuff going on. I'm all for that. But I don't feel like someone that does not have kids is obligated to make up for anything that's lacking because of someone that does have
I agree.
kids.
I agree.
Which might be kind of a harsh opinion.
Oh,
but,
well.
I mean, if you need the help, ask, and I'm willing to help. However, it should not be an expectation.
As I say, closed mouths do not get fed. So, if you need some assistance or help, open your damn mouth.
Yeah, just ask.
I know I'm a little kind of, not bitter, but it makes me upset when you got kids who don't have a choice. Who are handicapped in a sense, where they're not resourceful. You're the resourceful one. They have to go where mommy or daddy is at. So all I'm trying to say is be considerate of your children that you bring into this world, because you chose to do it. So be more considerate of your children and make sure that they're being taken care of. For the ones who you're doing your thing, I'm not talking about you. Obviously. I'm talking about the ones that I see on the street who still have their kids with no shoes on, walking barefooted in these nasty places. I mean, this is the cleanest I have seen facilities though. A lot of the ones that I walk into, even a Walmart, I'm like, this Walmart, wow. You know, I'm surprised when I'm like, like I don't know if the lighting is brighter. Maybe I haven't walked in a Walmart for a while, but it's a total different vibe. But still, don't be bringing your kids walking barefooted. I don't think they would let you in there. But I'm just saying, before this whole epidemic, some parents just shouldn't be parents. But
yeah, it's hard. Like it's hard because we don't know, and I feel like I always give this caveat or play devil's advocate.
You have to, because I am very
we don't know. We have a tendency to judge immediately. I'm guilty of it. I do it. I know that I do it. We don't always know the situation behind the barefooted child.
Well, you can get creative. Okay? And I'm going to be the opposite of your advocateness. Okay? Because I'll be like, well, then tear a piece of this shirt that you have on, because it looks like you're wearing layers. Get a piece of your bra. Get a piece. I don't care. Get creative. Put some socks, wrap it around. My mom, when she told me when she was growing up, she used cardboard for shoes. So, I mean, get creative.
You can make it work.
You
and
can make it work.
I'm not saying that. I'm just,
he has to.
We don't know. We don't know. We don't know.
I guess I go by my upbringing, because the way my parent treated me, her kids, you know, you have to sacrifice. And for a lot of parents and single parents, like, you have to realize it's not about you anymore. It's about this child. You got to make sure they're doing okay. You may not eat, but you got to make sure they're eating. Like, they have to build their immune system that you already have built. You can last a week or maybe so without eating as much. They cannot. You know, so, and if you want them to build them to be able to last as long as you got to feed them. You got to put yourself aside. So, I guess, you know, I'm not going to budge. That's just me. I work to be understanding.
Yeah.
But it's just...
I'm not asking you to budge.
Oh, no, I know.
I'm just saying.
But you have to bring in that other light, and I appreciate that.
And I don't... I mean, I was raised by a single mom. We were on food stamps. We were on welfare. We were in, you know, income housing for a decent chunk of, you know, the first few years of my life. So I'm not a stranger to that at all. And my mom was the same way. Like, I never went out with like just a diaper on. I feel like you see kids all the time with just a diaper. My mom would never allow that. And my mom worked, you know, 3 jobs. She was going to school. She she was not a stranger to that game. And, you know, I was not either. Yeah. That's a different conversation. Again, I'm trying to keep myself on track today.
It's okay. It's still dealing with it, though.
Because the last time that we talked, we kind of were all over the place. And I know that you and I have a tendency to do that just because we can. So
it's good to meet someone who can keep up, though, because I'm always all over the place. Yeah. And I got to...
When I start to see myself go down that path, I'm like, different topic. Topic. But yeah, no, all that to say, yeah, I'm not a stranger to that. I may or may not have similar, you know, upbringings as far as, you know, single mother, doing what they needed to do, doing what she needed to do to provide for a happy, healthy child. Yeah. And so, yeah, I get it. Everybody's situation is different. Yeah. And I guess for that reason, I'm just saying, like, in the back of your mind, before you start yelling at a single mom in Walmart,
what are you doing?
Just like take a second to be like, okay, what could be going on? I don't know.
All I could do, or buy a sock.
You do what,
and I will cut it, and I'll be like, here you go. What's this? This is for your child's socks, her feet, or your child's mouth, because clearly you can afford your own mask, and you forgot about your kid. Don't let me see you. You see this face? During this quarantine, don't let me see you out and have your kid out, okay? Just saying. And if I get punched, I'm going to sock back.
He would do that.
I mean, it is what it is. But if our parents can do it, what is wrong with you? And it was... I felt like... I mean, times have changed, yes. I feel like things have become maybe a little harder because of what's going on. We have more greedy individuals who are up top, you know, in these businesses or whatever. It's more like money. I feel like now companies have to be forced to really focus on the well-being of their associates. Now they have to realize that, you know what? We need our people who work with us. And it's like, yeah, So you may be sitting all up on top, chilling. Guess what? You're nothing without us.
Yeah, that's another thing that definitely has, this situation has shed some light on is how companies are going to treat the people that work for them.
Yeah.
Again, I've been fortunate enough to have a company that's super supportive.
Yeah. And same here,
that's been great.
And like total opposite, like where you are working, but I have a job, they're checking in, still supported, still paying for the phone, the work phone, still living with the tablets and resources and stuff like that, still paying for that where we're not coming out of our pockets. So, I mean, I'm grateful for the company that I work for, and I can't speak on a lot of people who have that because they don't have that, and so it really is, but I've always felt appreciated by my company. But for a lot of the companies that act like they're higher than thou, is really getting slapped in the face in a sense like, we got to take care of our people. Because without them, we got to be out there doing the work. And it's making it a lot harder. So I see in, maybe not in all, but a lot of positive, like once it starts opening back up, that I think that they're going to really worry about the well-being of their associates. I really hope. I want to walk into these retail stores and see that they do appreciate their associates, really worried about the well-being, the protection on, customers and stuff like that. Because customers are not always right. I'm speaking from being out there helping you all, and I'm speaking out being as a customer because I'm not always right either.
Yeah.
So I think everything is going to have a weird shift. It's going to take a long time to get used to.
It's going to be a minute before everything gets back to normal.
Yeah.
You and I, our jobs are different in that I'm in an office setting all the time.
Yeah.
I'm in a high-rise downtown in an office setting, which I had never done before moving out here. But you are someone that's going out to stores. And so, I mean, we're gonna from an office perspective, it's gonna affect everybody differently. If it's social distancing, we're not gonna be able to sit in the same desks that we were before. If it's coverings, obviously, we're gonna have to come in wearing masks all day. But as far as like the client facing or the forward facing people like you, it's gonna be an adjustment. With everybody, and it's not going to happen overnight.
No, it's not. It's going to be a lot of testing, trials and tribulations with that.
And it's going to be interesting to see, what happens going forward. I know there's a few companies that are, piloting or starting, the next phase of trials for a vaccine, which is, great news.
Yeah.
I don't know, obviously.
I know that takes a long time.
People have different opinions about vaccines, so I won't get into that.
Yeah. We're not the political individuals. We don't. We have our opinions and perspectives, and that's what we're going to give you. We're not here to talk about that.
But the fact of the matter is that there are companies that are, starting the next phase for vaccines. So if you're into that sort of thing, that will likely be coming at some point, which will have an impact on the state of the world. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually, the curve will flatten. Things will start to become, I think, probably a new normal.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to say normal because I don't think anything's ever going to be exactly like it was, but I think that there'll be a new normal.
Yeah. And like I said, I think it's going to be a positive if you make it a positive.
Yeah.
I feel like the respect is going to shift and change, but in a sense transition into something still positive, like opening the door for people, how we were taught to open the doors for women or your elders, hold the door open. Now it's like you want to try to stay away from them, or they're going to try to stay away from us. It's like, how do you adapt to the new normal? I don't know what it's going to be like. I think of it in the essence of that, being more control of the count of people in a building, in a Starbucks, how's that going to, not everybody, do you control the line? Is it going to be like Costco, 6 feet apart? Is there even going to be a table anymore to sit at? I'm sure maybe your guest or whatever. I will say there was this one time when I went to Red Robin the day before lockdown happened. It was like me and my colleague, we were sitting at this table, and the one next to us was empty. They had like, you can't sit here.
Yeah.
So it was like, every other, which is, that's smart, I don't know if they're going to do that.
I imagine them doing that, and I also imagine them putting up like more barriers between things. Like you see when you go out now, there's a lot of like sneeze guards and stuff.
Yeah.
I imagine them doing that.
Yeah.
Out of control. Like I just imagine there being barriers everywhere, which again, it's fine, but just to protect.
It's crazy,
Yeah, it is. But again, like you said, it's a new normal. We were all able to adapt and transition into this. I think we'll all be able to adapt and transition out of this. I'm also curious. This kind of sparked a thought in my mind. We're here in Southern California, and I'm imagining that we probably have a very different experience about this than people that are in the South, in the Midwest, that are people on the East Coast. I know my roommate has family out in New York, and it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much that brings us together that, we're sharing similar experiences, but there's also a lot of difference in how people are handling things, the amount of cases. My roommate's sister had her baby, and even though the husband and father was like less than 15 minutes away, could not come to the hospital to support his wife having a baby. He had to do it over the phone.
Oh my gosh.
So it's just all that to say, like we adapt, we're making it through now. We're gonna make it out of this, and it'll just become the new normal. Do your best to just come up with something positive during this time and after this, because there's going to be a lot of people, and I fall into this too, like I get down. I mean, everybody gets down. This is my little PSA about mental health. Like if you're feeling not good, call somebody, and if you're feeling great, call somebody and check in. I think one thing, and this is going to sound so cheesy, now that I'm 30 and mature.
Yes. He's awake now.
I think it's important to not only lean on your friends when you're feeling down, but also be able to share things when you're feeling positive. I know that I spent a lot of my time only reaching out to people when I was like, I really need to vent about this. I'm really just in a bad spot. And I'm making it a personal goal of mine to be able to not have every time I call you have it be because I'm going through some stuff. Like I want to be able to call you and be like, yo, I got a promotion at work. Yo, I just got a raise. Yo, I just made this bomb vegan cheesecake, which isn't really cheesecake if you ask my mom, who like, you know what I mean? Just little things like that. I think it's important to be able to share triumphs and not just share, when you're going through something. But always share when you're going through something, because if you need help, like get help, reach out.
I like that you said that, because on my recent episode with Charlie, we were talking about when you have friends, and they shouldn't just, always just be there when you need.
Right.
But it's good that they are, but also celebrate with them.
Yep.
Why does it almost limit to when there's a problem? Why can't we celebrate together? Like, tell me about, I just made this cheesecake, which I still actually want to try it. So whatever you want to do,
I'll make it
I'm sure you'll perfect it.
Yeah. About stuff and things that, again, I don't want to tangent into, because that's a habit of mine that I have.
It's mine too, so I'm glad you called that out, because I will go there.
I know. I was like, we could just keep on rolling. I think, it's important to be able to share triumphs and not just... For a while I realized I was just calling my best friend back in... he's in San Fran now. He was in Chicago for a while, but he moved out to San Fran. I realized that every single time I talked to him, I was starting out our conversation with like something negative, something that I was going through, something that he was going through, and I was just like, bro, like this is not where either of us need to be in life. Like we need to, when we pick up the phone, be able to speak positivity. We need to be able to share something great that happened and not have it be like, I'm having this issue with my relationship. I'm having this issue with my job. I'm having this kind of financial problem. Like, those are real. They suck. They happen, and your friends are going to be there to talk to you about them.
Yeah.
But you should also be able to pick up the phone and have a conversation when you win, when something good happens, when things are going right. Call and talk to somebody about that.
Yeah. Because if they can be there when you need them to at the most, they can be there when... you need just a cheerleader. Yeah.
And especially in this time right now where we're physically separated, there's still opportunities for you to connect with friends, with loved ones, with meeting new people. That's another thing too that we haven't touched on, but I think we can super quick. Like dating in quarantine. Not only people that are in relationships, like myself, that was in a relationship before this and is in a relationship now. Yeah. Being around
and you
somebody,
moved in just on time too.
I moved out of my place and into my boyfriend's place
in March, right, or no?
At the end of February, beginning of March. There was like a transition period of about a week or 2 weeks where I was taking my stuff out of my old place, getting rid of a bunch of stuff, and then moving it into his place, him and his roommate. And yeah, that was the beginning of March, and by I think March 19th is when we were told we could no longer come into the office. So it went from, we were at the point where we were ready to transition to being in each other's space. So that was fine, but now we're in a spot where I don't get the 9 to 5 away from the house Monday through Friday. Exactly. He doesn't get that time to do, whatever he wants. So you have to adapt, still make time for date nights. That's something that we're still struggling with, but we're trying. I think that's super important. Something that you're not used to, well, I shouldn't say that because I'm sure some people have been in this situation where they either work with their significant other and also live with them. But it's new for a lot of people where you are around someone way more than you were before. Yeah. And I think it's testing a lot of relationships.
It is.
Which is good and bad. Again, for me, dating somebody during this time, it's, I guess, just another test. Right? If we make it through this, we can make it through anything. That coin phrase. That's very true.
And then you get to know them in a more in-depth, level, I feel
absolutely.
Like.
You get to see them in a particular, how do they handle certain situations? But all that to say, like, come up with an activity to do together, bake together, cook together.
Oh, I love that, yeah.
Yeah, just make sure that you're still doing fun things. You guys can't probably, go out, get a drink, but, like, pretend you're at the bar at home. Like, one of you guys can pretend to be the bartender.
Get creative.
Like, just get creative. Still do date night. And, that's my little relationship plug on this episode.
And game night.
And game night. You can do game night with your friends. So you can do game night with your significant other.
Yes.
I am admittedly not as good at some PS4 games.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be. It could be card games.
I will say, right. What I was going to say is, like, you might surprise yourself or your significant other. I've actually started a couple arguments because I was better at some things than we thought we were going to be.
Yes,
so if you're a sore loser, be careful because you might be surprised by your significant other. And then, like, just to transition into, people that are single, I've heard stories about what it's like, being in this particular situation, either looking for or trying to date.
Yeah.
It's challenging, I imagine, because you don't have that physicality. You can't go meet somebody for a drink,
like,
coffee.
Let's go meet for a coffee.
Yeah.
Non-existent, unless you're trying to meet on the patio or outside down there, it's
right.
The whole social distancing thing is, taken seriously because you don't know, you want to be respectful for that other person as well. But it's definitely challenging. Because you can't go, let's go to my favorite restaurant and surprise you. You know, you can't do that. It's limited to either a car date, it's limited to FaceTime date, phone. It's very limited, but you can get creative. You can even pretend. Let's just say, for example, you have some space in the living room. Move the table out the way. Get a tent. Make it seem like, let's pretend we're outside. I'll even put the surround sound of the forest sounds, your bears and things like that. It may sound crazy, but it's so creative. And just, give yourself that environment because it's still practice on what you guys are doing, You ain't got to put dirt on the rug.
No.
I'm just saying, create that environment so that you guys both can be imaginative and creative together.
Yeah. Go out on a limb. Surprise your partner.
Yeah. Just because you can't go there doesn't mean you can't create it here.
And there's a lot of apps to like watch shows or movies together. There's a lot of apps that are coming out to watch, like listen to the same music. So there are options to still do things together at the same time. Maybe Virtually, thank you. I was like, I don't know why I lost that word for a second. I was going to say like through webcam, but same thing. You know, you can make things you can cook together, but cook at separate places, right? Just make the same thing. Maybe bake something like a baking challenge, but don't show each other what it looks like until it's done.
Nice.
And then you guys can compare once things are over with. Yeah. There's a bunch of like little things that you can do to kind of overcome the negatives of the situation that we're in. So
because I know there's a lot of negative that's all on TV. You know, the news. But
I'm curious, you know, depending on when this is released and like on what platform, you know, give us feedback. What are some of the things that you guys are doing or have done, either that worked or hasn't worked? You know, during this crazy stressful time. I think it'll be positive for not only, I mean, just me personally to see what other people are doing, but everybody that's listening to see what sort of things people are trying that haven't worked. And I'm also curious to know, like I was saying earlier, we know what's going on in Southern California, what we're experiencing as two individuals. Our stories differ, our experiences differ, and I can only imagine what other people that are listening, what they're going through.
Awesome thing about this too, on the platform of SoundCloud, I actually have seen that not just the United States have been listening to Nacho's Cafe. I know I have a friend in Australia, so I know that's why I've seen Australia come up. I've seen Italy pop up. And
they've been going through it this past.
I know.
Okay.
So actually, I'm going to be doing FaceTime with a few of those who are on the other side, just to give another perspective, because we maybe think we're going through it, but we have no idea. It's not all about us, you know. I think through all this, we have to learn to be united. I mean, there's no such thing as splitting us up in demographics and all that. We need to come together and be united and really be supportive of each other. I mean, if someone has an idea on Instagram, support them, because this is how we stay positive. You know, it really, it means a lot. Like you said, you know, with our friends and everything like that, not just calling them when you need them when a problem. I mean, being also the person on the other side, it gets tiring hearing you calling me only for problems. You know, it's like, I'm only here when you want to cry, or I thought I was more than that, you know? Let's have fun. Let's have the positive vibes. Let's literally support each other, you know, because sometimes you'll be turning around like, you weren't there for me when, you know, it's like, well, then start supporting.
It sticks with you too.
It really does.
Don't be afraid to be honest with your friends when they do try to go out on endeavors that maybe aren't the greatest. I had someone I don't want to say submit. What do I want to say? Someone ran an idea past me about a particular design for a mask and what they wanted to put on said mask.
It's not me, so stop looking at me like that.
It's not him. And I just
dismissed it.
They asked if I liked the mask idea, and I said no, because I didn't. And I think they were kind of taken aback.
Like, excuse me?
Yeah, because I think they were just expecting, you know, I wasn't rude about it, but I feel like either through last episode that I was on, or this episode, or the subsequent episode, or if you get to know me, right, if our paths ever cross or we end up interacting, you know, via social media, I'm going to give you my honest opinion. Absolutely supported her in if that's the route that you want to go, but if you're going to ask me my opinion, I'm going to give it. And don't be afraid to tell someone if you don't agree with something.
That's what I like about him. And that's why we are still friends till this day.
Yeah.
Because I know I can get that from you.
Yeah. And it's not a disrespectful thing.
No.
Like, I don't ever mean to be... there's never any malice at all. There's never any ill will. But I'm entitled to my opinion about something. You know, and I know what makes me feel good. You know what makes you feel good. What you like, what you vibe with, what you... you know, what makes you happy. People know what makes them happy and what doesn't feel good and what feels good.
Yeah.
And if you're going to ask me my opinion about a particular mask that says something that I don't agree with, I'm going to let you know I don't really like that.
There's no need to be apologetic with it. You know, I think when you ask, you kind of open door.
Yeah. But also, if you would support or would like to support, and you have the funds, the resources is probably a better word, because resources can be money, it can be time, it can be materials. If you have the resources to support somebody doing something, do it, especially in this time, right?
Yeah.
Even by listening to this, right? You're supporting Will, you're supporting me, you're supporting just, I guess, just communication. You're supporting someone pursuing, like, their passion that they've been working on for so long, and it's been really, really dope to see this build. So shout out to you for a second.
Thank you.
Just everybody listening. I don't know if you're just tuning into this episode, if it just happened to cross, if you've been binging the number of episodes that have already come out. Will's been working really, really hard for a really long time to finally do this. It's been awesome to see it grow. It's been awesome to see him invest in certain pieces that he knows mean a lot to him, and it's been really cool to be a part of that. So, one, I'm super proud of you. Two, thank you for letting me be a part of this. No problem. And thank you guys for, joining us on Will's journey.
This has truly been a journey, and this show in particular, the Talk About Tuesday, is my personal favorite because I get to interact. I personally get tired of hearing myself. I personally get tired of being alone, and a thought, because I know I'm not the only one that thinks this way, or there's another way of thinking. There's another perspective on an idea I may have, just like we said about the parenting thing.
Sure.
You're like, well, let's think of it this way.
Yeah.
I love that, because that's my story, I guess, is that I strive to be open-minded, and this is my way of showing me being open-minded by sharing not only my ideas, but my guests' ideas and their thoughts on it, even if it comes off maybe negative to viewers, and there's some viewers who are like, wow, they really got around that. That's almost sounded like an argument. Who knows who I might have on my show may sound conflicting, but in the end of the day, I am an individual that knows how to step back and try to understand where they're coming from, because we are all not born and raised in the same roof.
Correct.
You had a different raising, I had a different raising.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think if we can understand that as a person, as a people, I think we'll know how to be more united. We'll know how to be more open and less judgmental, I think. I think we're always going to be judgmental in a sense, because we are our worst critics.
It's inherent.
But I definitely, this is something that I see this in particular show for sure going forward. I can't just jump to conclusions on the other two shows and be like, oh, they're not doing so well because of the views. But I'm like, I gotta give everything a chance. Because I know how I am, and I am my worst critic, like I said.
It takes one person to tell one person to tell one person, and any of the shows that you're doing could take off in overnight, in a heartbeat. Yeah. I think what I personally really enjoy about our last show and this show is, I guess, just the opportunity to express different opinions about things, and depending on whatever platform it is, or whatever way you have to give feedback to Will, please do that. I'm super interested to hear from Will about the comments that people make about our episodes, about all the episodes. Obviously, me selfishly saying like the episodes that I'm in, because I want to know when people disagree with me. I want to know if there's a different way that I could look at things. I want to know or think about things in a different way. So I know, you're listening to us and maybe you agree or disagree. I know you see us and immediately have certain perceptions about me or about Will, either from the sound of our voice or the way that we say things, or on this, how ghostly white I am with these amazing lights, and just automatically assume certain things. And I think the thing that I enjoy the most is being able to sit and talk and maybe combat some of those stereotypes, or maybe reinforce some of those stereotypes, and I invite being told a different perspective on things. So it's collaborative.
Me too. Same here.
Yeah. It's collaborative. It's informative, in the sense that we're just trying to lay out how we feel about certain things.
Yeah.
But
and we're going to continue to do that. And like I said before, this is not going to be the last time or even close to the last time of seeing him here, because I have a list and there's quite a few things, and
it's been growing. I don't know if you've noticed. If you're listening, you can't see it. If you're going to be watching this once it's posted, it's growing, but that's good.
Yeah.
There's always something else to talk about.
Yeah.
But
I definitely get excited working with you, or basically collaborating with you more so, because we're not working. Well, whatever. But collaborate with you because I know with you we're gonna go somewhere in a direction of like a conversation. Like we're gonna have a conversation.
Yeah.
That's why it's not like an interview. That's why I chose to have him next to me, because I feel like you're listening to us in a conversation, in a collaboration from both views. It's not an interview at all. Like, what do you do? And you know, how old are you? Oh, well, he's 30 now.
Oh yeah. I feel like I've mentioned that once or twice because I'm 30 now. And I
could go there too.
Yeah.
I feel like going in that topic. Oh my gosh, there's so much. Like
that's what I'm saying. I think
that's what me and him. It's like okay, wow. So how does it feel to be 30?
Yeah.
Something that clicks. I
don't think it's hit me yet, to be honest. I mean, just a little teaser trailer for wherever this episode, whoever follows this, or the next time that I have the opportunity to be here, maybe it's something that we can touch on. I think that if I haven't hammered this home enough already, the communication, the collaboration doesn't stop once this video ends, doesn't stop once we stop recording. I really challenge you, and I'm excited to hear feedback on this episode, on all of your episodes, just that collaboration with people listening, with somebody else that can offer a different perspective.
Yes.
Make sure you tune in to the episode where he reaches out to people in Italy, Australia, if you can coordinate that. That's something to kind of broaden everyone's perspective on it. But just because the episode stops doesn't mean that the collaboration has to. So,
and that's very true. And also on SoundCloud, you're able to comment the actual episode on the podcast on Apple. Because we just figured that out now too. It's not on the music, so it's on the Apple application podcast. So when you look me up on there, you go there. I'll even show a little tutorial how to get there.
I was just gonna say, so for people that maybe haven't tuned in to everything that you've put out so far, and maybe they're either just tuning in now or they've just started to tune in, can you remind people where they can go to find your shows? Just in case, like, whatever platform they're listening on now they don't happen to like that, or wherever the videos are posted, like where else can we find your work? And if you would like to, he doesn't post a lot on Instagram. I'm gonna be rude and grab my phone. It's ry_barber, BARBER 13. So ry_barber 13. So now you know. I'm gonna start posting these vegan cheesecakes that I'm making. Please do. Posting maybe little date ideas that I try to pull so that you guys can see how successful or not successful that is. I'm gonna make it a point to be more interactive, collaborative. I feel like that's a good word. I think that I'm gonna start using a lot more often. Hashtag collaborative and hashtag support your friends. I just started doing that a lot. Yeah, is hashtag support your friends, because we really need to support each other. It doesn't matter if it's podcasting. It doesn't matter if it's designing. It doesn't matter if it's baking. Support each other, and if it's a bad idea, let them know. Call them up. Don't embarrass them. Just call them up late. So I don't think you should have posted that, because whatever, as a friend, because they know how you are and what you're gonna say. I think we already like, oh, what did I do? So that post, so the other thing. Oh, I know we're keep going. The other thing that I thought about recently, and I don't remember if I said this the last time or not. I might have, but I've been putting it in practice. When people are talking to me or asking me about things, I've now made it a habit to say, do you just need me to be here to listen so that you can vent, or do you want feedback? And I think that's really I've done that mostly just to kind of spare any negative energy, because I usually am one that will just provide my feedback. And if you don't know me, it can come across harsh, which I'm sure listening to me these past few times, you probably like, oh wow, I think you sound a little nicer. I feel like, because the tone of your voice is different. Mine's just last time or this time, or just in general? In general. Oh yeah. So anyway, because you're gonna get real, raw, honest feedback from me, whether it's I'm not gonna say positive or negative. I'm gonna leave it there. You're gonna get real, raw, honest feedback, and if you take it positively, great, or negatively, that's okay too. There's no malintention, there's no malice behind it. But I've made it a point of asking, do you even want feedback? Because sometimes people just need to listen. Sometimes people literally just need you there to get it off, and then they're over it. They're done with it. On to bigger and better things. And at that point, me giving feedback, anybody giving feedback, might not be constructive or beneficial. So,
and to add on to that, not only for him to say that, I think you, as a person who needs calling someone, also say that to somebody so that they know, because sometimes people interrupt you in a thought and you need to communicate to them, I just need you to listen. And for those of you who are chatterboxes, who like to chat a lot and don't like to listen, no, you listen.
Oh, if you're listening, I'm pointing at myself.
Sure, because they don't know what I'm doing. No, you listen. No, he does listen. Like I think both of us, we listen, may interject, but we listen. You know what the person is saying. But for those who, because I am a rare person who actually does talk to others about my issues. If it is, I do need someone to listen. So myself, but also the others, when you're calling someone, tell them, I need you to listen. Just, I have some things I need to get off my chest, and it may not even be about them. It may be just, you're going through something, and you need someone just to listen. You don't need them to judge. You don't need no opinion. I don't need your perspective. I just need you to listen. Because sometimes getting someone to talk is a hard thing already by itself.
Yeah.
And so, be present, and shut up. And
if your parents are still around, call your parents.
Yes.
In this time, absolutely call them.
Yes.
You can have conversations with your parents at this age.
Yeah.
Because I'm 30 now. You can have conversations with your parents that you could never have as a kid. And they are people too. They need that just as much as your friends do, people in your same age group. Mm-hmm. Call your parents. RIP if they're not around. I know it's morbid, but if they are still around, take advantage of the time that you have with them. Call them, have a conversation with them. I'm learning things about my mom now
really?
I absolutely.
You've been through something, and I think it really does come not necessarily with age. I think it comes with your growth as a man. You know, you've grown up and you've seen things. And you see things,
however you choose to identify.
Yeah. But I was talking about him.
Yeah.
You know, but as growing as an individual.
Yeah, I got you.
Seeing things in a different light than you were when you were probably young and naive, because we all were kind of like young and naive at one time, not really trying to look at it in another person's eyes.
Yeah.
But I feel like, at the time now, it's like, wow, you really been through some stuff, and I think when you're at a certain age, when you reach in life and older, I think it's good to reflect on what you've been through, because you didn't not go through anything. You went through something, and it's good to acknowledge that and to applaud yourself.
And you're a product of your environment. I think we talked about this last time. I'm a supporter of going to therapy. One of the things that I was working on in therapy is there's a whole school of thought about the relationships that you have now, that I have now, that you have now as an adult, are reflective of relationships that you've seen in the past, whether it's relationships that you yourself went through with, your mom, your dad, in my case, even like the lack of a relationship with the dad, or your grandparents, or a relationship that, your friend's parents went through. You inherit some of that consciously or subconsciously, and it comes out later on in life. And again, there's different schools of thought, so not everybody believes that or follows that pattern, and that's okay. But the particular therapist that I was working with did, and gave me a couple books to read about that. And for me, it's been an enlightening and opening experience to realize how much of what I'm going through in my current relationship or have gone through in my past relationships really reflect on things that have happened that I had no control over in the past. So I think it's about recognizing that and being able to build on that and stop blaming you being a shitty person on things that were shitty in your past. Because you know better, so be better.
Yeah. You gotta let that go.
That's turned. Quarantine, eh? Yeah.
So, back to, I guess, our topic, we covered on it, and the thing about it, I didn't want to dab into, like I said before, political views, because I'm not a political person. Thankfully, he's not either. So we both can agree on, like, we're not touching on all that. So
I want to clarify that real quick. Not a political person, as in, I think you and I have agreed that this particular platform is not, like, we're not using this as a particular platform to express political views one way or another, or to bash any political candidates.
Yes.
Not saying not political as in we don't care about what happens with the state of the world, or like, go vote, believe in what you believe in, do your research. That's not what I think either of us are saying at all. I think we've just chose to, instead of turning this into something that could go negative real quickly, we're trying to focus on other topics aside from the political aspect of it, because those podcasts are out there. If that's what you're looking for, go find them. But right, I mean, I don't mean to jump on you like that, but I just didn't want it to come across as like
individual growth and perspective and conversation on topics where you can be open-minded to. It's hard to be open-minded to those things.
Yeah.
So it's more directed, and this is geared for everybody who wants to listen. It's called Talk About It Tuesday, and so whatever we're talking about, that's what we're going to be talking about,
regardless of your political affiliation.
Regardless, if you don't want to listen, you can change
right.
to the next show to listen to.
Yeah.
And every Tuesday is not going to be the same topic. It's going to be something different, because that's why it's called Talk About It. Because I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
So thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah. I didn't mean to jump in on you.
No. That's what we do.
Go vote. Go vote.
Yeah, go vote. Please do vote. I think everybody is realizing it's time to vote.
Yeah.
And definitely, do your research, because don't just blindly vote, just like you don't blindly shop in a store. You need to.
Some people do. I've seen some of you guys dress
all the time. Thank you, Costco. But anyway, I think we covered on basically what we wanted to talk about is like our views, our perspectives on really what's going on right now, and the possibility of what's coming next. I think, like we said, the respect is probably going to change. The new normal will have to adjust to whatever that is, and I think we need to be open to it. Let's not try to be too narrow-minded on things. We all need to work together, and as the doors are slowly opening up, don't forget about nature. Don't forget about the world that we're living in. I think we all need to be a little bit more generous and realize that the world does not revolve around me. It does not revolve around him.
No.
It doesn't revolve around you. We have to work together, because it's not just one person living on this single earth. It's all of us. And
collaboration.
Yes.
There it is again.
Hello. Talk about it.
On Tuesday. Or
on Tuesday, right? Do you have any extra feedback or points or questions that you would like to ask our viewers or listeners?
Just to kind of reiterate, the mantra of collaboration, support each other, support Will in his endeavors. It's been great being a part of it. Feel free to look me up on social media. I don't post a lot, but I'm going to start. That's a personal goal of mine. So collaborate with me. I'm interested to see feedback. I'm always open to discussing things. I'm always open to questions. I really am an open book. So, feel free to reach out, whether it be positive or negative. Use this time to hone your skills, try something new. Use this time to be adventurous as much as you can with things that are in your control.
Yes.
Your kids, your friends, call people.
Mm-hmm. That you would not normally call. See how they're doing. Celebrate on something. Share what you're doing.
Be patient with people too.
Yes. Because not everybody comes around. Just because you come around quickly than most doesn't mean that they are. And just give them time. But be consistent on reaching out.
Yeah.
Because it shows that you're interested in what they have to say or whatnot.
Yeah.
And kudos to the dating out there who is, dating out there during this tough time.
Yes. Whether
you're not in the same building and whether you are in the same roof, work together.
Yeah.
And really communicate. And I think for some, you're probably realizing this is not the one for me. And for those, I would not be able to pick a better person to be with.
Yeah.
So on the same, there's always a left and a right. And I think we need to acknowledge that. So, but Ryan, Thank you, my friend, for being on this Talk About It Tuesday again, and can't wait to have you again.
Yeah.
So we can collaborate more.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited because I love collaborating. We're going to come up with some more stuff. Probably the 20 things that we came up with that one day on a rough draft day because we talked about everything.
Yeah, and even today, we'll comb through the
stuff
that's been written down.
Of course.
Attempt to keep ourselves on track.
Yes.
And thank you guys, too, right?
For listening.
Just Will's doing his thing out here, so make sure you keep supporting. So that way I can come back, because I want to come back. So, and just,
And I'll be reposting, especially the ones that we have questions, especially the last one, and then this one with the questions, because I really would like to hear what you guys think.
Yeah.
You have a voice, and I know you know how to use it, so use it.
We have some loud friends, so.
Yeah. And you know I'm loud. Yeah, this one right here. All right, well, thank you guys for listening and watching, and thank you again, Ryan, for, partnering with us.
Of course. Thanks. Bye, y'all.
And that completes today's Talk About It Tuesday episode on Nacho's Cafe. Thank you so much for listening, and see you next Tuesday for the next TBIT episode. And remember, when you run into a mental wall of personal perspective, talk about it.
Symptoms, fever, anything like that. So
I'm just sweating because I'm, moisturized.
It's a glow.
Yes.
And I'm just glowing because of these
I know the lights are. I just bought a new look.
Which is fine. I am in fact white. So.